Hey everybody, it's Mr. Gooch. It is May 7th. I'll give you a buck if you can tell me where I am right now. Today we are going to have our first live class. It's at 10:30. If you can join us, please do. There's a link in our classroom that says live class meet or something like that. It's at 10:30. Basically, I'm going to be reading this to you in the video, and you're going to be answering the questions. Greek influence on U.S. democracy. The live session will do the same thing, but we'll also catch up and see how everybody's doing and where you guys want to go next with this civics training. Okay, so let me read this to you. Again, we should start with the questions. It makes it a lot easier when you're doing a reading guide. Read inference below. Aristotle's ideas had a large impact on the laws that people in the United States still follow. Which sentence from the article provides the best support for that statement? Number 2, read the section America's Representative Democracy. Select the sentence that suggests some limitations that characterized Athenian democracy also characterized democracy in the United States. It's a tough one. Number 3, read the following selection introducing the United States' decision to model its government on ancient Greece. After declaring independence from England in 1776, the founders of the United States realized that they had a special opportunity. They had a chance to create a government of their choosing to guide their decisions. They looked at what they considered the best examples of government throughout world history. Ancient Greece's democratic form of government soon became their primary inspiration. Okay, and then to follow that up, what does the author most likely want the reader to think about the United States' decision to model its government on ancient Greece? And 4, the last question, how does the author build an understanding of the relationship between democracy in ancient Greece and in the United States? Ready? Here we go. I'm just going to read it to you. Greek influence on U.S. democracy is from National Geographic. And here we go. Ancient Greece was the birthplace of democracy. This democratic form of government served as a major inspiration for the United States government. The article below outlines some of the key ideas our nation founders borrowed from the Greeks. After declaring independence from England in 1776, the founders of the United States realized that they had a special opportunity. They had a chance to create a government of their choosing to guide their decisions. They looked to what they considered to be the best examples of government throughout world history. Ancient Greece's democratic form of government soon became their primary inspiration. It greatly influenced how the founding fathers constructed the new U.S. government. Governing at the local level. Prior to independence, the future of the United States was divided into 13 separate colonies. The founders of the United States decided to keep the country divided into states rather than dissolving colonial boundaries. They did this so that each region could be governed at a local level, with national government acting as an authority overall. These 13 colonies became the first states of the newly established country. The structure of the U.S. states was partly modeled after the ancient Greek city-states. Their relationship to the federal government resembles the relationship of Greek city-states to Greece overall. For the most part, Greek city-states acted independently. However, they also sometimes banded together to defend Greece from foreign invaders. Major city-states included Athens, Sparta, Corinth, Thebes, and Syracuse. The ancient Greeks pioneered the concept of the rule of law. This idea came from the philosopher Aristotle's belief in natural law. He claimed that certain essential rights were based in nature, and that these rights stood above the laws written by humans. Aristotle believed that government should be guided by law. In the United States today, the rule of law is an essential part of the democratic system. It ensures that all laws are equally enforced and independently judged. Laws must also meet international human rights standards. The rule of law is important because it allows all individuals and institutions to be held accountable for their actions. Even the government itself is held accountable. Pioneering the Constitution. Ancient Greece also pioneered the written constitution. Aristotle recorded the Athenian constitution and gathered together laws of many other Greek city-states. Having a written constitution creates a common standard. It establishes how people should behave and what rules they must follow. It also establishes clear processes by which people who break the law are judged, and by which those who are harmed can be given justice. Our own U.S. Constitution is a key part of our political system. It lays out the government's structure and how its different parts relate to one another and balance each other's power. The U.S. Constitution acts as supreme law of the land. It establishes individual citizens' rights, such as the right to free speech or the right to a trial by jury of one's peers. The original U.S. voting system had some similarities with that of Athens. In Athens, every citizen could speak his mind and vote at a large assembly that met to create laws. Citizens were elected to special councils to serve as organizers, decision makers, and judges. However, the only people considered citizens were males over the age of 18. Women, slaves, and conquered people could not vote or serve on councils. America's representative democracy. The founders of the United States also believed that only certain people should be allowed to vote and elect officials. They chose to structure the United States as a representative democracy. This meant that citizens elect officials, such as senators and representatives, who represent them and vote on their behalf in Congress. It also means that individuals do not vote for the president directly. Instead, a body called Electoral College officially casts the votes for each state for president. As in Athens, the United States was founded, not all people, when the United States was founded, not all people were allowed to vote. Only white landowning men had that right. Over time, however, all U.S. citizens over the age of 18 have gained the right to vote. The key elements of ancient Greek democracy are still used today. The United States and many other countries around the world have adopted democratic government to give voice to their people. Democracy provides citizens the opportunity to elect officials to represent them. It makes all citizens equal under the law. We have the ancient Greeks to thank for that. Okay, so again, if you can join me at 10:30 today, we're going to go into that in detail and kind of see why they might have been thinking that that was the best form of government based on the situation that they were in. All right. If you can't join us, just finish the 4 questions and we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll talk about the difference between democracy and a republic. Remember, Monday is a catch-up day, so if any day you're feeling overwhelmed this week, take a little break from some of your studies and catch up on those on Monday. All right. Talk to you later.